In this video, we'll continue our discussion on classes. Now that we've covered the prerequisites, we can finally go over how to actually create, edit, and delete classes. Additionally, we're going to look at some administrator tools that make managing classes more efficient. Let's get started. From the GradeLink dashboard, select the Classes tab on the left. On the right side of the page, you'll see a list of all existing classes organized by term. To create a new class, simply fill out the fields on the left. Class title refers to how the class is referenced within GradeLink and on transcripts, while report title refers to the name displayed on report cards, progress reports, and in the student-parent interface. In the teacher field, select a teacher from the list on the right. If there is a second teacher or a teacher's aide you'd also like to have access to the class, use the secondary teachers menu below. Report order determines how classes are listed on the report card. Classes are displayed in ascending order, and if two or more classes share the same report order value, GradeLink will additionally sort them alphabetically. Term defaults to the first active term, but if you are preparing for an upcoming term, select it from the list on the right. If your classes are worth credits, you'll need to assign them using the Unit's Credits field. If your school uses parent terms, you'll need to set your credits based off of the total number of credits earned per parent term. For example, if there are 2 quarters in a semester, each class in a quarter should have the total credits earned for the semester. The hidden setting will prevent a class from appearing on report cards, progress reports, or in the student-parent interface. Furthermore, grades entered for hidden classes won't be saved to the transcript or permanent records. The Ignore filter setting forces the class to appear on a student's transcript regardless of other parameters set. For example, you would use the Ignore filter if a high school student needed a middle school class to show on their transcript. Hidden and Ignore filter are specialty settings that by default are disabled. If your school would like to use them, please contact GradeLink support. Class types, grade scales, subgrades, and graduation requirements have already been discussed in a previous video. Hit Add at the bottom of the page to finish creating your class. If you have multiple classes that share many of the same settings, you can save time by using the Duplicate tool instead of manually creating each class by hand. Editing a class is simple. Select it from the list on the right, and the fields on the left will populate with that class's information. Make your changes, and then hit Save. By default, classes that contain grades, attendance, or other data cannot be deleted. We'll go over how administrators can bypass this restriction when we cover GradeLink settings in a later video. When the end of a term approaches, staff will need to begin concluding classes. Concluding a class is the equivalent of creating a permanent record, and with few exceptions, once you've concluded a class, grades and attendance can no longer be altered. Generally, it's best to have teachers conclude their own classes. However, administrators can manually conclude classes in 2 ways. If you would like to conclude a single class, you can do so directly from the Classes tab. If you would like to conclude all classes in a term and you're certain teachers have finished entering grades, you can hit Conclude in the Terms tab. The last topic we'll discuss is the Analyze Classes tool. Sometimes changes are made to classes in between terms that can result in conflicts. The Analyze Classes tool lets you compare the content of multiple terms, tracking which classes only appear in certain terms, and whether there have been changes to class titles, subgrades, and so on. It's a simple but surprisingly powerful tool. This wraps up the third part of our discussion on classes. Join us for our next video where we look at scheduling classes using the Advanced Scheduling tool.